So I've had a bit of an unconventional route. I qualified as a lawyer in the city with Herbert Smith, and I guess I am here today because I took one big punt about 7 years ago. I transitioned from leaving the city at Herbert Smith and joining Sky at a very early age in my career, still as a sort of legal and business affairs role in their movies and entertainment team. And to be honest, it was a sequence of right place, right time. At the time I joined in the movies team doing deals with the likes of the Sony studios and things like that. An opportunity came up at Sky Sports and I transitioned across, and at the same time Team Sky was born, and no one actually wanted to take that role on at the time because it wasn't core to Sky's work, whereas I saw it as an opportunity to add an extra string to my bow. It was sponsorship work and image rights, so I took that on. The more I worked in that business, the more opportunity there came to be involved in the front end and commercial work, and so I put a plan together and said, can I move over into that part of the business and do this hybrid role where I look after the legal and commercial aspects. And Tour Racing, which is the company that holds Team Sky, is probably small enough, just about, for me to be able to straddle those two roles. So I'm now in a position where I have these two very different roles, but I think in an organisation like Team Sky works quite well overseeing the governance aspects, the image rights structures, the partnerships, both from a legal and commercial affairs perspective. Probably Platt's header against Egypt. My dad's Egyptian, and I was at a real torn moment seeing my family so split in around a sporting moment, that when that went in and I sort of just lost control, I thought to myself, I need to get closer to what all of this is. And to be honest, I'm not sure how close I am to it, but that is a sporting moment that stays with me forever. I think it's a tough question because I think nowadays I don't really know what the sports industry is. I mean, you come to events like this and actually there's as many non-sports endemic brands and there are sports ones. So it's always bespoke to the individual. And I think if you're, for example, a programmer, I wouldn't worry about being directly involved in sports because there's so many ways to be indirectly involved. But if someone said to me, like, it's absolutely, I want to work in the heart of sport, then I think my advice would be, as in any industry, I think you've got to start by meeting people, because understanding what roles there are and understanding the reality of their roles is really helpful to position someone, because it could be as good as you thought, but it could also be very different, still good but different. And I think a lot of people go into sport with an illusion of what they hope it would be and realise actually it's not like that, it's something different. So there's so many opportunities to meet people these days and ask real life questions about what you do. And so my advice would be, don't be afraid to approach people with the simple question of what do you do day to day, and use that to sort of start to at least narrow down what you mean by I want to be in the sports industry. Because certainly if you turn up at my door wanting to work in the sports industry isn't enough. I need to know that you want to work in a commercial role doing this and why, so that you need to start to really narrow that down. And unfortunately for people coming into the game now, there's a real expectation that they come with a real level of knowledge or a real level of interest, which is actually quite focused, whereas in my day you could probably get away with being generally interested in something. So my main bit of advice is meet people and ask sort of probing questions.